These are just some manic morning ramblings. I'm not as manic this morning as I was a couple mornings ago. And I guess what kind of prompted me to start talking this morning was a post that I saw on Facebook from a friend of mine that is coming to the realization that groundhogs can indeed climb. This is something that I've known for a little bit. When you decide to make a garden space and you live in a place like I live in, you have to protect the garden space. So I decided to put a fence around it, and I did over-engineer it a little bit according to some of the unrealistic videos that I saw on YouTube. YouTube and Instagram are the internet's version of Cinderella and Friends, in my opinion. They give you all false hopes and false information and recipes that leave out one ingredient or one step, so you're sure to fail at all the stuff. It just sets you up to fail. So I over-engineered a little by making the fence taller than what was recommended in most of those. I'm going to call it propaganda. Most of those garden propaganda videos. I made a 5-foot fence, and in addition to creating a 5-foot wire fence, I laid out about 2 feet of wire along the outside over the ground, and then you cover it with dirt, and they call that an apron. And what that does is it's supposed to keep them from digging. You know, if they're going to dig into your garden, they're going to go up to the edge of the fence and they're going to start digging. And when they encounter some fence, then they get discouraged. They don't, work it out and go, move back a little bit further in case you put that wire there on the ground. Or do they? My question is this breed of groundhog, is this like a new breed of groundhog? Is it part of the groundhog evolution to climb fences? Because I've seen them climbing my fence. And in fact, this year I just threw my hands up because that little motherfucker was climbing into my fence. I saw him climbing over the fucking fence. And what are you going to do then? Like, am I going to make a cage? Am I going to make a 2,000 square foot cage to grow my shit in? No. Anyway, my friend just came to this realization that groundhogs can climb. I also feel like groundhogs in areas that are more busy or bustling with, cars driving up and down the street and kids playing outside and dogs and, things going on. I feel like those groundhogs, they don't, they're a little skittish. And they don't get into your stuff as much. But I am surrounded by a forest. So, there you go. Forest living does not equal homesteading or gardening because it's really hard. The only thing that seems to maybe work for lots of people is a dog, because they're afraid of the dog and they won't come in. And I heard that from people, not the propaganda machine that is YouTube and Instagram. Yeah, YouTube and Instagram, interesting places, right? It's like where people's dreams they just go to die. When you think you could do anything, and you go to those places, and you see someone else is doing it. I've done it 100 times with recipes. And then I got to remember, the person that's making this is a professional chef. you know, and that's why it looks so awesome, and that's why they have all the equipment, and they know how to do it, and yeah, and then what I turn out is just complete garbage. It's literally practically inedible, and then I just waste my money, and I think all these guys are paid by industries that inspire you to go out and spend money. It's like when there's a hurricane in Florida, and I feel like Publix and Home Depot sponsor all of that hype, all of that, you know, all of that media hype about the hurricane that's going to come and wipe you out unless you go buy all of the canned food and water and get, you know, boards to cover your windows. So everyone runs to Home Depot and they'll stand 50 deep in line and they'll spend top dollar and buy sheets of oak when all of the cheap plywood is gone so that they can nail it to the outside of their windows. Same thing with Publix. They go and they just completely clear off all of the shelves, all the water, and all the canned food. And as I'm talking into my phone and I'm looking outside my window, I can see that over there, that fucking groundhog, and he's over in my neighbor's place. There's so much greenery around me, and they eat all of it. And he could eat up everything. He could eat up all the stuff that's in my yard. All of the weeds and all of the things, and just, you know, like there's just an endless amount of that stuff here. But no, he wants what's inside my garden. Anyway, I don't know. There's nothing to be done. There's a whole family of them. They're everywhere here. And they're wild, so whatever. Farmer's market for me, I guess.